Hey guys, this is AR-15 guy here. Here at my bench, got a couple of guns torn apart, some things I wanted to show you, and clarify a few things. I've got a video out there that's why Glock Guys Hate the 40 Smith & Wesson. And it's because the 40 Smith & Wesson, I have had a chance to look at a Gen 4. The 40 Smith & Wesson in Gen 4 is still a unsupported chamber. And the reason they do that is it creates reliability as far as feeding. Less jams feeding on the feed ramp. So by cutting that back a little bit and making the ramp a little less steep helps it to feed better. Makes sense when it comes to they want to be able to sell these to law enforcement, and having that way makes the gun more reliable. But it can cause detriments if you don't get a good solid load, whether you're a reloader or you purchase something with a bad load in it. It can cause too much pressure in that to split. It has been pointed out to me that the 9mm is also unsupported, but there's less surface area on a 9mm to have that problem, and that does make a big difference. I have seen two guns blow out the bottom of the shell. Both of them were Glocks, both of them were in 40. One was reloads and one was a factory load. So, and then I've heard of two. So if you go to a neutered 10mm, he talks about it as well. And what happens is that with loads, if they're not loaded correctly, it can create a weak spot in that shell where it's not being supported, and can be an issue. Now that doesn't mean that all Glock 40s are bad. I would just say if you plan on reloading, you got to take extra careful as to how many times you've reloaded your shells, how thin the walls are getting, things like that. You just got to take the extra precautions. But it is still a high pressure round, and so is 9mm. 9mm is a high pressure round. 9mm, and that's not even counting plus P, is right up there with 40. The difference is the 9mm has a smaller case, therefore a smaller space on the shell is exposed. So less likely to have that happen. Now, here I have got my 45, my Ruger SR 1911 45, and if you can see down in the shell right in here, the feed ramp digs down, and what that is an unsupported chamber because it's not fully supported out to the rim of the case there where it starts to go back. So right along there where the powder and everything is sitting is unsupported. So that would be considered an unsupported chamber. Now, on this 9mm, my SR9C, it is also an unsupported chamber. You can see down inside there that there is a little bit of that shell exposed. Now, if you look at it from the side, it looks like a fully supported chamber because it does come down and meet the edge of the chamber there. But on the feed ramp, it is slightly unsupported. And that's the same issue that the 40 has in the Glock, except for that unsupporting chamber is dramatic. It leaves a pretty good size. It's not just this little bit there. It's a pretty good piece. And that's what creates that Glock belly. So when people are talking to you, this difference between a supported chamber and an unsupported chamber is when you've got dropped the shell into the chamber all the way around is going to be at that ridge right there. All the way around. That's a fully supported chamber. If at any point it drops down into here, that is considered an unsupported chamber. And that's what the Glock 40s are. They're unsupported chambers. They do it for reliability in feeding by making that feed ramp a little less drastic and giving a little more of a cant. It feeds the ammo more reliably, but it does open itself up to some issues. So anyway, guys, that's what I wanted to talk about. That's what I wanted to go over. There's been a lot of discussion on that, so I'm going to post this for you guys, and I want you to take a look at it. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Like I said, I was able to take a look at a Glock Gen 4. I think it was a Glock, 27, the compact 40, and it did not have a supported chamber. So anyway, that's what the difference is, guys. So anyways, leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.